Hi, this is Laura Workala with Laura's Sewing School in Arlington, Massachusetts, and our YouTube channel, Sew Ingenious. I've been making masks and leading a project to make face masks since March 19th, 20th or so, and that's been over a month. And I had heard about using pleating templates, and I wasn't sure how they worked. And then one of the guys that has been making masks with his wife, he's a carpenter, and he saw a video, and he shared it with me. And then he brought me a jig, a pleating jig, and that he had made. And then I decided that the pleats weren't quite in the right place, and it was a little wider than I wanted. So I decided to tweak my own. So I've been working on this, and I've got it to where I like it. And I'm going to show you how to use it today to make the pleats. Okay, so I did like 10 masks yesterday just to really master it, and then these I just did today using the pleating template, and it works great. You just gotta play with it, and you find it goes very fast. This one I just did and did not press, but that one's all done too. So I wanted to just show you those, but I thought I'd do it on something that'll contrast with the paper better so you can see it. What you want to do basically is have this jig be narrower than the mask that you're making, because you're going to fold it into all these pieces of paper, and then you're going to sew it and then pull the jig off it so you can press it after you're done. You don't have to mark anything, which is really cool. So this is a really neat thing. I've been playing around with it for about 2 days. What I will do is I will be taking and making a printable templates for these pieces. So all you have to do is print them, cut them, and tape them together. What you would have to do is have them done on cardstock. If you're part of my project, I'm going to have them printed by a local printer and have them cut them so that all we have to do is fold them on the lines and tape them in place. So I'm going to try and make it as easy as I can for my people. So, all right. So what happens is that you have one piece of paper that goes across the whole thing here. And you draw a line, and you can see the ink lines here. And then you add a piece of folded paper and tape it on the far sides away from there so that when you put the fabric in here, it doesn't slip. Now I decided, what if I put a piece of sandpaper here, really fine sandpaper? I did double-sided tape, but I don't think it really makes that much difference. It doesn't really keep it from slipping, and in some ways you kind of want to let it slip a little bit. I don't know, as long as you get even pleats, that's all you care about. Okay, so this is the mask we're doing, where we have a wire in the top, folds over. The inside is contrast. We've heard from health practitioners, they want to know which side is supposed to go against their face. So that's one reason that we're doing the contrast on this side. Now this is just from when I was first playing around with the mask. It's just a piece of muslin. We've been using sheets for the inside because they're much higher thread count. Okay, most quilting cottons are 60 threads per inch. Sheets run 200 or more threads per inch. So we've had a lot of sheet donations, and we've been cutting those up and using those for the back. We put a nose wire in, and that is a plastic coated twist tie. I've been getting them from a company, Uline, 2,000 in a box, and we've been cutting them 6 1/2, as I mentioned before. I don't want to get into too much, but anyway, so the top is where the nose wire is, and then we still have the place for the pocket to put a filter material into. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to take the jig, and I'm going to have it so it'll be printed. I'm going to try and make it very, very clear that you put the bottom, you open up the flaps. Okay, so we have basically like 3 on each end. You open that up, and you set this right side up, because we want the pleats to fall downward, and we're going to put the bottom of the mask into this line down here, and try and make it so there's about an even amount of extra fabric on either side. I started with this a little wider, but I found that it got in the way of the presser foot, so I just made this 6 1/4 inches. But I'm going to have this all in a document that I will link below the video so that you can download it and print it yourself. And this is for my mask pattern. It may not fit other mask patterns. I'm just trying to make something specific for my project. So I'm going to fold this up like this. I had put these holes in here to maybe stick pins in, but I think if you're careful, you don't really need the holes. I used a little punch that's used for buttons. Now I'm going to fold this like this over that, and I'm going to make sure that edges here and here are even. I don't want to fold this crooked. I don't want to go like this. That's exaggerating it, but I don't want to do that. Okay, so this is tucked in as far as I can get it. I'm going to fold this over, and you don't have to be super tight, but just be even. Then I'm going to take this flap and fold it down, And then you're going to fold this up around that flap like this. And you're going to make sure that, again, these edges are even, that you're not crooked, okay? You want to be right on top of themselves. Then fold this one up and fold this down, okay? Like that, making again sure that those edges are even. You can just move it this way or that if they aren't. Then you'll bring this one down. You see, you just alternate and bring this up. You see, again, making sure the edges are even. Bring this up, bring this down. Now here at the last one, what I like to do, and that's kind of thick because I put more tape on it, I like to fold this up and make sure that these edges are even. And to keep that all in place, do you see how these edges are even and these are? I make this even with the top, and I use something called a Wonder Clip. Now, if you look at Wonder Clips, they come. This has been around for a little while. They're awesome for when you have thick things. It's clear and flat on the bottom, and curved and colored on the top. So you want the flat side to be against the sewing machine, so it feeds better, and that's why they make them different colors. Okay. And I'm going to clip this so you'll see that the edge of the pleat is the mask is even with the top. You'll see that it's made some nice pleats on there, and they look nice and even. Now I'm going to take it to the sewing machine, and I know when I have this on the camera tripod, my machine vibrates, and hopefully I'll go slow enough so hopefully the camera doesn't bounce up and down. Now you do not have to start all the way at the top, because what you're trying to sew together is from here down. So I'm not going to start all the way at the top. I'm going to start a little just below that little pocket for the twist tie, and I'm using gray thread here because I was working on gray mass, and it's a good contrast. Now I don't want, my usual seam allowance for this has been when I sew the casings on the side is the side of the foot. I don't want to use that because I don't want to see the stitching until late. I don't want to see any stitching sticking out of that casing. So I'm guiding that with the inside of this hole right here, the right side of that hole. It's like about 1/8 of an inch from the edge, which is about where I stitch the edges together on there. And I don't even really, if I go all the way to the end, I don't have to back stitch because I'm just holding that together temporarily until I put the casing on. Now you can see if it works, if you have enough room under the arm of your machine here to just go ahead and move that over and go in the same direction. I always feel like you go the same direction, you're going to end up with it being the same length. Now I can measure it on my scale here. This is 3 1/8 here, and this is 3 and about 3 1/8 there. Now what I do is I'm going to take off the Wonder Clips like this, and I found it easiest to pull this out from the back, and then it just pulls out of the front. And then you have these nice even pleats, and you can take it to the ironing board and iron it, press it